Last week, Samsung had its Unpacked event where they showed off the new S24 lineup. In this video, I'm going to tell you what is new regarding these devices and obviously my opinion. So let's get to it. Obviously, the video is going to be about me telling you what is new with these devices, but not only that, there's not much to tell that's new from these devices. So let's get straight to it. The same models, S24, S24 Plus, and the S24 Ultra. In the case of the S24 and the S24 Plus, have almost the same look as the previous version. The beautiful look of the camera rings, which is something that I love, and an overall minimalistic design. They come in black, gray, which looks white. It honestly looks white. The back is white, so they call it gray because of the size, I'm guessing. A violet and a yellow color. They are all now matte finished. And instead of using the comfortable design that they had on the areas where you grip the phone or the sides, what is called the sides, they decided to add flat sides. Where have I heard that before? Didn't Samsung fans make fun of Apple for doing this? Anyways, the S24 and S24 Plus, the screens will now be 6.2 inches and 6.5 inches respectively, and they will be able to go up to 2600 nits of brightness. In the case of the S24 Plus, you get an additional upgrade, which is the resolution. It will be able to go up to Quad HD or a 1440p resolution with up to 120 Hz refresh rate. Now moving on to the Ultra, it looks very familiar or very similar to previous versions, but it is a little thinner, and now the side is made of titanium. Okay, now, I do remember that Samsung fans did make fun of when the iPhone 15 Pro versions came with titanium, because I was even recently reminded about it by a Samsung fan. But now when Samsung does it, it's okay. Oh, and remember when Apple first introduced always on display, and Samsung fans and every other Android fan was saying, oh, that is not real always on display, you can still see the image on the back, blah 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 blah. Guess what Samsung did? They added the same feature for their always on display, where it just dims the image that you have on your lock screen a little bit. So honestly, I don't know why Samsung fans keep making fun of whenever Apple does something that they don't like, because either 1 year or 1.5 years later, Samsung will implement it. So honestly, you should not make fun of it anymore. So I'm watching you, Samsung fans. I'm watching you. Anyways, there is something that I do have to congratulate Samsung on, and it's getting rid of the Infinity Display. At least I think it was called the Infinity Display. It's the one that curved on the edge where you grip it, causing people to have, by mistake, the phone recognized that it was being touched when it was actually not. It was just being held on the hand. So that was actually a really nice move. I love that. And honestly, I think the Ultra looks very, very professional. I love the way the Ultra looks. I'm not even being sarcastic right now. I'm being serious. I love the way it looks. In the case of the Ultra, they all have almost the same exact cameras as the previous version. But in the case of the Ultra, you do get a nice upgrade, which is a second telephoto lens that will now have a 5 times zoom instead of the 10 that it had before. But instead of having the 10 megapixel sensor that it had before, it will now have a 15 megapixel sensor. So it will obviously make up for that. And a lot of people that were using it on the event when these devices were announced have said that they have used it. And if you actually request a 10x zoom, what it does is that it crops a 50 megapixel image at 5x. It crops it to half the size, and that's how you get a 10x zoom, and it still looks better than what it did before with a 10 megapixel sensor. But that was kind of obvious that it was going to happen. You know, bumping up from 10 megapixels to 50 will obviously make a very, very distinctive difference in how you can see the image. For those interested, the prices will be for the S24, $800 starting at 128 gigabytes. The S24 Plus, $1,000 with 256 gigabytes of storage. And for the S24 Ultra, starting at $1,300 with 256 gigabytes of storage. They will all get the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chip. And the new feature for this chip is AI processing. And there are some things that are cool and that I like. Just like, for example, circling an image and it will do a search for that image. That is something that's nice. And when you can edit a photo and it actually now looks really much better than what Google did before with the Pixel, that actually looks really good. And it's a really necessary upgrade, you could say, that bringing AI into it does really do a good job. But this will apparently be the year for AI on everything. And I made a video before. I'm going to link it right up here. For those of you that haven't seen it, I highly recommend it, regarding my opinion on AI. And at the end of the day, you want to see it because it's important, and it'll kind of may open your eyes to how scary this might be. And I will obviously explain myself a little bit, and I will give you an example of how scary it can be. But anyways, watch the video after you finish this one, then you will have a better idea of what I'm trying to say. Because first they will put AI into your phones so you can get used to the idea, and you say, oh, AI is so good, we need AI on everything. And as soon as you say that, that's when they're going to put AI in your job. And an example of it, they actually showed off in their presentation, which everybody thought was a good idea, including me, until I actually took 2 seconds to think about it, which is the feature that they added where you can make a call and live, like for example, right now I'm speaking English. You can speak English and have somebody else speak Portuguese, and it will live translate an entire conversation that you're having over the phone. It'll translate for that person in Portuguese. That person will answer in Portuguese, and you will get it back in English. That is a great idea, but then again, there are people who do that for a living. They're called translators, and that puts their job at risk. So that is one example of how, yes, it's important that we continue to push tech forward. I'm not against that at all, but we have to be really careful because we are getting to areas where it can put other people's livelihoods at risk. And that's what I basically talk about in the other video. So if you have a chance, go ahead and check it out. I'll also put it at the end of this video, so you can, if you guys at the end want to go to it, you can go right ahead and click to it. Anyways, other than that, honestly, I thought that the upgrades were really good. They were nice and simple, not a lot of big changes. But then again, when you almost have the design perfected and everything is almost just right, there is not much you can do to improve Samsung's flagship lineup. Let me know in the comments what you think down below. Did you like the updates? Did you not like them? Will you be getting an S24, any of the S24 lineup? Do you not like it? Anyways, just leave it in the comments down below. While you're down there, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit that bell so you get notified when we have new videos. The only way you can do that is if you're signed in with your Gmail account to YouTube, either on your app or your favorite browser on youtube.com. Not just me, any other YouTuber that you like. It is very important, more important than even watching the videos, is smashing that like button. Not just me, any other YouTuber that you watch will greatly appreciate it. As always, we're available on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and X. I forgot again. X, and obviously YouTube, at J.R. Abrams Tech, so you can stay up to date with the latest news or rumors about tech. Until next time.